How did Ebonyi State, once known for its affordable lifestyle, become one of the most expensive places to live? Today we are diving deep into a topic that's on everyone's mind, the rising cost of living in Ebonyi State. Ebonyi, which was once celebrated as one of the most affordable places to live, is now facing skyrocketing prices. Have you noticed the difference when you go shopping or pay for services? It's not just you, the numbers are there to back it up. We are going to explore why this is happening, what it means for you, and how Ebonyi ended up on the list of the most expensive states to live in Nigeria, especially in the southeast. But first, let's start with some context. You are watching Ebonyi People TV. Nigeria is currently grappling with one of the worst inflationary periods in its history. The National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) recently reported that the national inflation rate has hit a staggering 29.90% as of January 2024. This isn't just a number, it's a reflection of the economic hardships that are affecting everyone across the country. But here's the thing, this inflation isn't affecting all states equally. Some states are feeling the pinch more than others, and unfortunately, Ebonyi State is one of them. You might be wondering, how did Ebonyi State, once known as a haven for affordable living, become one of the most expensive states in Nigeria? In January 2024, Ebonyi State was ranked as the 7th most expensive state to live in, with all items inflation rate of 32.36%. That's a significant jump from December's rate of 31.07%. And it's not just the overall cost of living that's rising. Food prices have been a dramatic increase too. The food inflation rate in Ebonyi State surged to 39.1%, up from 35.7% in December 2023. So, what's driving this surge in prices? Let's break it down. Now, there are some factors contributing to inflation in Ebonyi State. 1. Rising food prices. One of the most significant contributors to inflation in Ebonyi State is the sharp rise in food prices. This isn't unique to Ebonyi, it's happening across Nigeria, but the impact here has been particularly severe. Factors such as security challenges in key agricultural zones and increased transportation costs have made it more expensive to bring food to the market, and those costs are being passed on to consumers. 2. Transportation costs. Speaking of transportation, the cost of moving goods around has gone up dramatically. Whether it's due to higher fuel prices, poor road conditions, or increased demand for transport services, the result is the same: higher prices for everything from groceries to household goods. 3. Economic instability. The broader economic challenges facing Nigeria also play a role. With the naira losing value and foreign exchange rates fluctuating wildly, the cost of imported goods has gone up. Even local products aren't immune, as businesses struggle with the increased cost of raw materials and production. 4. Government policies. Sometimes, government policies, whether they are related to taxation, subsidies, or trade, can have unintended consequences. In some cases, policies designed to stabilize the economy might actually be contributing to inflation in certain areas. So the big question, how does Ebonyi compare to other states? Let's take a step back and see how Ebonyi State stacks up against other states in Nigeria when it comes to the cost of living. According to the NBS report, here are the top 10 most expensive states in Nigeria as of January 2024. 1. Kogi. Topping the list, Kogi State recorded an all-items inflation rate of 35.78%, with a food inflation rate of 44.2%. Despite a slight decrease in food inflation, Kogi remains the most expensive state. 2. Oyo. Oyo State has overtaken Lagos to become the second most expensive state, with an all-items inflation rate of 34.58% and a food inflation rate of 37.3%. 3. Akwa Ibom. Holding the third spot, Akwa Ibom reported an all-items inflation rate of 33.16%, with food inflation reaching 40%. 4. Abia State, with an all-items inflation rate of 33% and food inflation at 39.6%. 5. Rivers. Rivers State ranks 5th on the list, with a 32.74% inflation rate and a food inflation rate of 40.1%. 6. Bauchi. Bauchi is in the 6th position, with all items inflation rate of 32.37% and food inflation at 28.8%. And to the 7th spot is Ebonyi State. As mentioned earlier, Ebonyi has an all items inflation rate of 32.36% and food inflation at 39.1%. And then we have Ondo, Osun, and Lagos State. Seeing Ebonyi in the top 10 most expensive State is shocking, especially considering its reputation for being affordable before now. So, why is Ebonyi experiencing such a sharp rise in the cost of living? One possible explanation is that the state economy is more vulnerable to external shocks than others, as earlier mentioned. And another factor could be the influx of people moving to Ebonyi State from other more expensive states. This increased demand for goods and services can drive up prices, especially if supply can't keep pace. For residents of Ebonyi, these rising costs are more than just numbers. They are affecting everyday life. Whether it's the cost of groceries, transportation, or other essentials, you're likely feeling the pinch. The question now is, what can be done about it? On an individual level, it might mean rethinking your budget, finding ways to cut costs, or exploring alternative sources of income. On a broader level, it's up to policymakers to address the root causes of inflation, whether that's by improving infrastructure, supporting local food production, or finding ways to stabilize the economy. As we wrap up, it's worth asking, what went wrong? How did Ebonyi, known for being one of the cheapest places to live in Nigeria, end up in the top 10 most expensive states? Is it a sign of things to come, or can something be done to reverse this trend? We want to hear from you. What do you think is causing the rise in the cost of living in Ebonyi State? What changes have you noticed in your daily life? Share your thoughts in the comments below and let's start a conversation. Until next time, stay tuned to Ebonyi People TV, where we'll bring you the latest news, insights, and stories that matter to you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to keep the conversation going. And remember, we are all in this together. Let's find solutions that work for everyone. See you in our next video. Bye bye.